Story 1. I still don't know if I'm really here, or if this is just the last flicker of my mind before everything went black. But if you're reading this, or hearing this, listen close. Something is wrong with that gym. Something waits there, and it's still hungry. My name was Emily, or is Emily. I'm not sure anymore. Jack and I were 28, full of big plans for the new year. We wanted to get fit, save money, maybe start thinking about a baby. Simple dreams. On December 31st, just before midnight, we drove to our 24-hour gym. We thought a late workout would be quiet, romantic even. Just the two of us sweating side by side, starting the year right. The parking lot was almost empty. Only one other car, far away under a flickering streetlight. Inside, the front desk was unmanned. The automatic doors slid open anyway, like the building was expecting us. The air smelled of rubber mats and faint bleach. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, too bright, too loud. Somewhere deeper in the building, a weight plate clanged once, then silence. We laughed about it. "Guess we have the place to ourselves," Jack said, kissing my forehead. His voice echoed a little too long. We changed quickly and headed to the cardio area. Rows of treadmills faced a wall of mirrors. We picked two in the middle, side by side. I remember the soft thud of our shoes on the belts as we started walking, then jogging. We talked about dinner, about work, about how good we'd feel tomorrow. Normal couple stuff. I wanted to push myself, so I cranked the speed higher. The belt hummed louder. My heart pounded in a good way. Jack grinned at me in the mirror. "Show off," he teased. Then it changed. The machine didn't just speed up, it lunged. 1 second I was running, the next the belt was a blur beneath me. My feet couldn't keep up. I flew backward, arms windmilling, and slammed into the concrete wall behind the treadmill. My skull hit first. I heard the crack, felt warm wetness slide down my neck. The world tilted. I tried to call Jack's name, but only a wet croak came out. Through blurry eyes, I saw him jump off his machine to reach me. He was shouting, panicked. He grabbed the red emergency cord on my treadmill and yanked it. Nothing happened. The belt kept screaming. Then his own treadmill woke up. It had been off. I swear it was off. But the display lit red, the belt roared to life, and Jack's loose shoelace, God, that stupid untied lace, caught in the side rail. It pulled him down hard. His knee hit the moving belt first, then his hands. The rubber grabbed his shirt, his skin. It started to eat him. His screams weren't human. They were high, sharp, animal. I crawled toward him, leaving a trail of blood. My fingers slipped on the floor. I reached out, but sparks flew from his machine. The motor whined, overheated. Flames licked up the sides. Fire spread fast, too fast. It jumped to my treadmill, to the mats, to the walls. Black smoke filled the room. The mirrors turned orange with reflected flame. Jack was still screaming when the fire reached him. Then he wasn't. I remember the doors. The big glass entrance doors we'd walked through 20 minutes earlier. I dragged myself toward them, coughing, skin blistering. But they wouldn't open. The handles burned hot. A recorded voice came over the speakers, calm and cheerful. "For your safety, doors have been secured due to emergency protocol." I beat on the glass until my hands bled. Outside, snow fell quietly on the empty parking lot. No one came. The heat cooked me from the outside in. My hair caught fire. My clothes melted into my skin. The last thing I saw was Jack's body, twisted and black, still half inside the machine that had taken him. They found us hours later when the fire crew finally cut through the doors. The news said it was a tragic accident. Faulty wiring, old equipment, bad luck. 2 young people gone on New Year's Eve. But here's what they didn't say. Sometimes, late at night, people driving past that gym see lights on inside. They see 2 figures on the treadmills, running side by side. A woman with burned hair, a man with no face left. The machines move, but no one's feet touch the belts. And if you stop your car, roll down the window, you can hear it. The hum of fluorescent lights, the clank of a distant weight, and beneath it all, a faint, endless screaming. I'm still there, you see. Waiting. The gym is never empty. Not anymore. Story 2. I don't know how long I've been whispering this into the dark, but if you can hear me, don't ignore it. There's a gym on the edge of town that looks normal from the outside. Bright signs, big windows, happy music leaking through the doors. But once you're inside, especially when it's quiet, the weights remember what they've done, and they want to do it again. My name was Sophia. I was 16. This is what happened to my family. Every Saturday evening we went to the gym together. Mom, Dad, my brother Diego, and me. It was our thing. No phones, no fights, just sweat and laughter. Dad called it family time with iron. Mom said it kept us close. Diego and I rolled our eyes, but we loved it secretly. That night felt the same as always. The place wasn't crowded. A few people on machines, headphones in, staring at screens. The free weights corner was empty, except for us. The air smelled like chalk and metal. The lights buzzed softly overhead. Mirrors lined every wall, showing us from every angle, like we were already trapped in a box. We decided to do a squat challenge. Mom wanted to hit a new personal record, more plates than she'd ever lifted before. Dad stood behind her, ready to spot. Diego and I stood on either side, cheering like idiots. "You got this, Mom," we shouted. She smiled at us in the mirror, gripped the bar, and lifted it off the rack. She went down, slow, steady, came up strong. 1 rep, 2. On the 3rd, her hands were slick with sweat. The bar wobbled just a little. Then it slipped. It happened so fast. The bar crashed straight down across her neck. I heard the crack, like dry wood snapping in a fire. Mom's eyes went wide. Her body dropped. She didn't even scream. Just a soft, wet gasp, and then nothing. Dad yelled her name. Diego lunged forward to grab the bar. He tried to lift it off her, but the plates weren't balanced anymore. One side slid, heavy iron shifting, and the whole thing rolled. It caught Diego's right arm against the floor. I heard his bones break, pop, 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 like bubble wrap under a boot. He screamed high and sharp, trying to pull free, but the weight pinned him. I stood frozen, phone in my hand, tears already coming. Dad looked wild. He grabbed the tall dumbbell rack nearby for leverage, trying to use it to pry the bar up. But the rack wasn't bolted down. It swayed. Then it fell. Hundreds of pounds of dumbbells poured down on him. I saw his face for 1 second, surprise, then pain, before he disappeared under black iron. The crash echoed forever. Dust rose. The mirrors shook. I was the only one still standing. I dialed 911 with shaking fingers. "Help," I whispered. "Please, my family." That's when a loose dumbbell rolled across the floor. I didn't see it. My foot caught it. I went down hard, straight into the pile. Something sharp, a broken plate edge, sliced into my stomach. Warm blood soaked my shirt instantly. I tried to crawl away, but my legs wouldn't move right. Pain burned everywhere. We lay there together. Mom silent, Diego whimpering, Dad making wet, choking sounds under the weights, me bleeding out slow, staring at the ceiling lights that never stopped buzzing. I reached for Mom's hand. Found it. Cold already. Diego's fingers brushed mine from the other side. We were all touching, connected by metal and blood on those black rubber mats. No one came for a long time. The gym played its upbeat music over the speakers like nothing was wrong. They found us hours later. The news called it a terrible accident. Faulty equipment, carelessness, bad luck. But sometimes, on quiet Saturday evenings, people say they see us in the mirrors. 4 figures in the free weights corner, a woman under a barbell, a boy with a twisted arm, a man buried in iron, and a girl bleeding in the middle reaching out. If you walk past that gym late at night, slow down, look through the windows, you might see us lifting, smiling, cheering each other on. Don't come inside. The weights are waiting for another family to bond with. They're patient. And they never forget. Story 3. I still feel it sometimes. a cold breath on my neck during yoga, like someone's watching from behind the mirror. If you ever join a couples class at that fancy gym downtown, look closely at your reflection. You might see her too, the woman who never left. My name was Sarah. Tom and I were getting married in 6 months. We were 29, stressed from wedding plans, so we signed up for a late afternoon yoga class. Couples poses, the website said. Relax and connect. Sounded perfect. The gym was upscale, soft lights, lavender scent, bamboo floors. We giggled walking in, holding hands like newlyweds already. The studio was dimly lit, candles flickering, only a few other couples. The instructor, a calm woman named Lena, smiled warmly. Welcome. We'll flow together today. We rolled out our mats side by side, facing the wall of mirrors. It made the room feel bigger, like we were in a crowd of ourselves. We started easy, breathing deep, then downward dog. My palms pressed the mat, butt up, head down. Tom beside me, strong and steady. This feels good, he whispered. That's when the mirrors fogged up. Not like sweat fog, unnatural, thick, like someone breathed on them from the other side. Faint handprints appeared. Small ones pressing out, fingers splayed. I froze. Tom, look. He glanced up, chuckled. Just steam from our breaths, babe. Hot yoga vibes. He was always practical. I tried to laugh it off, but my skin prickled. We moved to warrior pose, partnered this time. Tom behind me, his hands on my hips for balance. I stretched my arm forward, leg back, felt strong. Then icy fingers wrapped my ankle. Not Tom's hands. These were cold, bony, like death itself. They yanked hard. I lost balance. Face slammed into the mat. Pain exploded, nose shattered, blood spraying warm and wet. Stars burst in my eyes. I tasted copper. Sarah. Tom pulled me up, his face pale. Blood dripped down my chin. He grabbed tissues from his bag. What happened? You okay? I pointed at my ankle. Red marks, like fingerprints. Something grabbed me. He frowned. Must have slipped. But then he looked in the mirror. His eyes went wide. There she was. A woman, decayed, skin hanging in gray strips, grinning with yellow teeth. She wore old yoga pants, a tank top stained dark, mimicking our pose exactly, but twisted, joints bent wrong. Her eyes locked on mine. Empty black holes. That's not us, Tom whispered. The class didn't notice. Lena droned on about breath. I knew her story later, Googled it that night, shaking. She was a member years ago, died mid-class, heart attack during warrior pose, collapsed alone, no one saw till too late. Now she haunts the mirrors. She lunged, through the glass, like diving into water, straight into Tom. He jerked, body went rigid. Then he smiled, not his smile, hers, decayed grin. Tom? I backed away. He stretched, too far. Arms twisted back, shoulders popping like fireworks. Crack. Ligaments tore, loud as ripping cloth. He bent sideways, spine curving impossible. Bones ground. He laughed, her laugh high and hollow. The class screamed now. People ran. Lena froze. Tom grabbed me, stronger than ever. "Join me," he rasped, her voice from his mouth. I bolted for the door. He caught my wrist, spun me, forced me into a backbend. Deeper, deeper. My spine arched. Too much. Snap. White-hot pain. Everything went black. They found us like that. Posed together. Me bent backward, eyes wide in terror. Tom draped over me, grinning forever. Eternal embrace. Police said heart attack. Tom's then mine from shock. But the mirrors, clean. No handprints. Sometimes I watch from the glass, see couples flow into poses. I press my hands out. Wait for them to notice. If you feel icy fingers, run. Before she takes you too. Story 4. I don't know if water can hold a scream, but I swear that pool still keeps ours. If you ever swim alone at night in an indoor gym and the lights flicker just once, get out. Don't wait. because we're still down there, waiting for company. My name was Alex. I was 22. This is how my family drowned. We were the Thompsons: Mom, Lisa, Dad, Mark, my sister Jordan, and me. After long days at work and college, we always met at the gym pool. Swimming laps together was our quiet time. No talking much, just the steady rhythm of arms cutting water, bubbles rising, the four of us moving in lanes side by side. It felt safe. It felt like love. That night, a storm growled outside. Thunder rolled like it was angry. Rain hammered the skylight above the pool. The place was almost empty, just us and one lifeguard reading on his phone up on the high chair. Chlorine stung our eyes, but we smiled anyway. Mom dove in first, sleek and strong. Dad followed. Jordan and I cannonballed, laughing. We started our usual routine, freestyle laps, steady and calm. The water was warm, lights bright under the surface, turning everything blue-green. I remember the sound, muffled thunder, our kicks echoing, breath bubbling out. Then everything went black. The power cut without warning. All lights died at once. Even the emergency strip stayed dark. The pool turned into a void. I couldn't see my own hand in front of my face, only the faint glow from the exit sign far away. "Stay calm," Dad shouted. His voice bounced off the tiles. "Everyone to the shallow end." We tried. I kicked toward where I thought the wall was. Mom called our names. Jordan was close. I heard her breathing fast. Then I felt it. A pull. Not strong at first, just a tug on my legs. The filtration system had gone wrong, some hidden pump still running on backup power, sucking hard at the main drain. My foot slipped into the grate. The suction grabbed my ankle like a hand. I jerked, tried to kick free, but it pulled harder. My leg folded, knee scraping metal. Pain shot up, but worse was the fear. I screamed underwater. Bubbles exploded from my mouth. I clawed upward, but the drain held me down. Jordan heard me. She swam over blind, arms reaching. "Alex!" She grabbed my shoulders to pull. Bad mistake. The current caught her too. Now both of us were stuck, her body pressed against mine, legs tangling. Mom heard the struggle. She swam toward the gargled noises. Dad shouted for her to stop, but she kept coming. In the dark, she crashed into him hard. They spun together, confused, fighting for direction. That's when lightning hit the building, a boom, louder than anything. The strike traveled through old wiring, straight into the pool lights. Electricity surged in the water. Dad's body lit up, muscles locked, mouth open in a silent scream. He thrashed wild, arms flailing. One hand caught Mom's hair. They tangled. We all came together in the deep end, a knot of arms and legs. Jordan's nails dug into my arm. Mom's face brushed mine, eyes wide even in the dark. Dad convulsed against us. Every kick pushed someone deeper. Lungs burned. Chlorinated water forced its way in. I saw faces distort, Jordan's mouth a black O, Mom's hair floating like seaweed, Dad's eyes bulging. We drowned holding each other. Panic made it faster. No one let go. When power came back hours later, the lifeguard finally looked up. He saw 4 bodies floating, bloated, skin pale blue. Blood swirled faint red from scrapes and bites we'd made on ourselves. We looked almost peaceful, linked together in the middle of the pool. They called it a tragic accident. Faulty wiring, bad storm, broken drain cover. But late at night, when storms come again, swimmers say the water feels warmer in one spot. They hear bubbles rising for no reason. Sometimes the lights flicker and shadows move under the surface, 4 figures swimming laps forever. If you feel a gentle tug on your ankle, don't fight it. We just want our family to feel whole again. Come swim with us. The water's fine. Story 5. I still hear the music sometimes, thumping bass in my head, even though I'm dead. If you ever walk past a spin studio and the beat leaks out, too loud, too fast, don't go in, especially if the bikes are empty but still moving. They're waiting for new legs to ride them. My name was Anna. Mike was my husband. We loved cycling, real roads, wind in our hair, but winter came, so we joined indoor spin classes. Friday nights became our date. Loud music, strobe lights, sweat flying. We sat front row, side by side, pedaling like we could outrun anything. That night, the class was packed. Bodies everywhere, shiny with effort. The instructor, a guy named Kyle, shouted over the beat, "Climb, add resistance, go harder." Lights flashed red, blue, white. My legs burned in the best way. Mike grinned at me, face red, dripping. We were alive. Halfway through the hardest hill, Kyle's chain snapped. Loud crack. His pedals spun free. He laughed it off. "Keep going, warriors," and jumped off to fix it. Nobody stopped. We were too deep in the rhythm. Then my bike locked. Pedals froze solid mid-turn. My feet strapped in tight, clipped shoes, no escape. Momentum hurled me forward. I flew over the handlebars, straight into the bike ahead. The gear mechanism was exposed. Someone had removed the guard. Sharp teeth waited. They caught my throat perfectly. Metal tore through skin, muscle, windpipe. Hot blood sprayed out like a fountain. I heard Mike scream my name. He slammed his brakes. Nothing happened. Brakes cut clean. His bike shot faster. He crashed head first into the mirrored wall. Helmet split like an eggshell. Crunch. He slid down, leaving a red smear on the glass. The room exploded. Chains snapped on other bikes, one after another, like planned. Metal links whipped free, lashing through the air like angry snakes. They sliced legs, arms, faces. Blood arced under strobe lights. Pretty and horrible. People fell, tangled in pedals. Screams mixed with the music that wouldn't stop. I hung impaled, gurgling. Blood filled my mouth, spilled down my chest. I reached for Mike. He lay on the floor, eyes open, twitching. Brain leaking pink onto the rubber mats. His fingers stretched toward me but couldn't reach. Others weren't lucky. A woman beside us lost an artery in her thigh. Blood pulsed out in time with the base. A man's chain caught his neck, whipped tight, head came half off. The floor turned slippery. Bikes kept spinning on their own, pedals turning though no one pushed them. Kyle stood frozen by the door, pale. Later they found out why. He'd been fired months ago. This was his old class, his old room. He'd come back that afternoon, loosened chains, cut brakes, removed guards, waited outside until the chaos started. Police caught him running across the parking lot, smiling. But that's not the worst part. They cleaned the studio. New bikes, fresh paint, louder music to cover memories. Classes started again. People say on Friday nights, if you peek through the window, the room is dark. But the bikes move. Pedals turn fast. Strobe lights flash on their own. Shadows ride. A woman with her throat torn, reaching forward. A man with half a head, trying to break. Others bleeding, falling, screaming, silent screams. The music never stops. Sometimes a new couple signs up for the front row, side by side, smiling. The bikes like that best. They like couples. They like when you pedal hard. If you feel your chain tighten just a little too much, or the resistance won't turn down, get off. Unclip, run, because we're still riding. And we're tired of going alone. Story 6. I can still smell the cedar wood, hot and sweet, mixed with something wrong underneath. If you ever step into a gym sauna and the steam feels too thick, too eager to wrap around you, leave the door open behind you. Don't close it. Because we're still sitting there, waiting for the bench to feel full again. My name was Mira. I was 20, same as my twin brother Arav. Mom and Dad, Priya and Raj, took us to the gym every weekend. We lifted, ran, stretched. Then, always, we ended in the sauna. Just the four of us on the wooden benches, towels loose, eyes closed, talking quietly about school, work, life. It was our safe place. Warm, quiet, ours. That Sunday evening, the gym was nearly empty. Rain tapped the roof. We finished our workout sweaty and happy, then slipped into the sauna like always. The door clicked shut behind Dad. Steam hissed from the rocks the moment we sat. The air felt heavier than usual, but we didn't think much of it. "Good detox tonight," Mom said, smiling at me. We settled in. Upper bench for Mom and Dad, lower for Arav and me. The heat rose fast. I closed my eyes, breathed deep like Dad taught us. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Relax. Dad coughed once. "Lungs burning a bit," he said, voice light. "Means it's working. Breathe deeper, everyone." We did. That's when it started going wrong. Mom swayed first. Her eyes fluttered. She slid sideways against Dad's shoulder. Foam, white and pink, bubbled at her lips. Her skin turned angry red, blisters rising like bubbles on hot milk. She made a small sound, like surprise, then went still. Arav jumped up. "Mom!" He grabbed Dad's arm. Dad's face was confused, eyes glassy. The temperature gauge on the wall climbed crazy fast, past 100, past 120, still rising. Something inside the heater had broken. Gas leaked silent into the steam. Carbon monoxide, they said later. Colorless, tasteless, deadly. Arav lunged for the door. The metal handle glowed dull red. He screamed, yanking his hand back, skin sticking to it like meat on a hot pan. The door wouldn't budge anyway. The heat had warped the frame. I felt it then. My chest burned, not from heat, but from poison. Head spun, vision tunneled. I clawed at the cedar walls, nails scraping, splintering, breaking. Blood smeared the wood. I needed air, any air. Dad tried to stand, to help, to do something fatherly. He pounded the door once, twice. His fists slowed. He sank back down, pulling Mom closer. His eyes found mine across the steam. "I love you both," he whispered, voice thin. Then his head dropped. Arav collapsed beside me. His hand found mine. We squeezed hard, twins again, like when we were little and scared of storms. His grip loosened slowly. I was last. The heat cooked us from inside. Skin tightened, split. Eyes dried, mouths froze open in silent screams. We huddled together, Mom and Dad above, Arav and me below, arms tangled in one last family hug. Hours passed. The gym closed. No one checked the sauna until morning. Staff pried the swollen door open with tools. They found 4 dried-out bodies, skin like leather, faces twisted in pain, locked forever in that embrace. The air still shimmered with heat. The rocks glowed faintly. They fixed the heater, cleaned the benches, put up new cedar panels. Opened again the next day. But late at night, when the gym is quiet, people walking past the sauna door say they feel warm air leak out. They hear soft voices, parents talking to kids, gentle and low. Steam seeps under the door even when no one turned it on. Sometimes new families go in to relax after their workout. They sit on the benches. Close the door, breathe deep. The heat rises fast. We make room for them. We like when it feels full again. Come sit with us. The sauna's warm, and we've been waiting. For more stories like this, share and subscribe Goofy Horror.